Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be jumping into the overactive solar plexus chakra. What does it mean to have way too much energy flow to the solar plexus? What does that look like? What does that imbalance look like? So let's not forget that the solar plexus chakra is the center that governs our self-esteem, our confidence, our ego, how we perceive ourselves and see ourselves in comparison to others. So because of this, when you have an over access of energy flow to the center, you will have way too much self-esteem, right? To the point that you are extremely cocky and arrogant and kind of douchebaggy, right? So you might criticize and judge others because you feel superior to them. You feel that people are beneath you and they're not as deserving as you and you're just better, right? So somebody with an overactive solar plexus is probably going to be very selfish and have a very self-serving mentality, right? They might be up on their little high horse up there. So the next symptom is caring way too much about what other people think about you and how they perceive you, to the point that it dictates your behavior. So for example, say that you're sick and you have a doctor's appointment. It's very important. It's the doctor, it's your health, right? But your car breaks down and your only option is to ride the bus. You don't have any other ride. Well, some people would just happily go on the bus because they feel like their health is super important and they don't care what people think, right? But if you are the kind of person that you will cancel the doctor's appointment because you do not want to ride the bus, because you feel like you don't want people to look at you like you don't have enough money to get your own car, or you don't want people to think a certain way about you, having that like bougie attitude, having that like entitlement. So somebody with an overactive solar plexus might also have an excessive want or need for fame or status or recognition, right? And this may they may feel the need to kind of climb that social ladder, either with their friends or their job or whatever, because they want that higher opinion that other people could possibly have for them, right? So they want others to view them in a certain way, so they will chase that image regardless of the consequences, regardless to who and what it affects, right? So an example would be if you have a spouse and your spouse is way too into their career, you haven't seen them in like a month, because they've been spending all their time at work, and they come home every night for an hour before bed, and you're like, honey, like, can't you just sit and chat with me for a little bit? I really wanted to tell you about my day. I wanted to know about your day. I just wanted to talk and connect with you for a second. You've been working so much lately. So if they're like, oh, no, I have to finish this. Like, my job is gonna, you don't understand, my job is gonna love me for this. My coworkers, oh, this is gonna put them to shame. You don't even understand, and you're just sitting there like, who cares, man? Like who cares? That person has an overactive solar plexus because they're caring way too much about what other people think about them, right? Workaholism is a big trait of somebody with a solar plexus chakra, just because they have that critical mentality of, I care what other people think about me, and I could always be doing more. What could I be doing? Self-criticism is a big trait in overactive and underactive solar plexus, but the difference is that the self-criticism in overactive is going to be in that vibration, opposed to the underactive not feeling not feeling like they have enough, not feeling worthy of things. So another symptom is kind of like using people and situations and opportunities to boost your ego, right? So using your workers, your friends, your family to gain some kind of recognition or status, right? Like, say you just got a really new fly outfit. You went shopping, you feel great. You're like, oh, I'm feeling awesome right now, feeling myself, right? And you want other people to recognize you. Well, some people aren't going to use people to get recognition, but you might know, hey, my sister has like thousands of more followers on Instagram than me, so I don't really want to hang out with her, but I know she has all those followers, so you call her up, hey sis, let's take some pics together. I really missed you. that, just because she's going to post that picture and you're going to get all the recognition and, oh, look at her sister, and you're going to get followers and all that, right? But you're not really into actually hanging out with her. That is a prime example of somebody with an overactive solar plexus, because you're kind of compromising things that you would or wouldn't normally do to get recognition, to get fame, to get that come up, right? And we can all jump on opportunities, and that's great. But it's when you're doing things outside of your morals and integrity, and inconveniencing yourself and others just so you can have that status, that recognition, right? So bragging a lot about accomplishments is another big symptom, right? Craving attention is a major symptom. Like, they have a constant need to be right. Righteousness is definitely a symptom, right? You might come off as like a know-it-all. You might come off as like, bossy, right? Just because you want to have all the control. If you're bossy and you're bossing everybody around and everybody's not feeling it and you can't perceive that, well, it's probably just because you are feeling like you want to do your things your way. It's your way or the highway. You don't feel like anybody else is right. You feel like you are better than people. You can do that job better. You have better opinions. You have better thoughts than people. So you only want things to be your way. That's definitely a symptom, right? So you're also going to need to feel like the alpha. You might need to feel like the alpha in social situations, right? That excessive want and need to feel control and feel power could end up being like an abusive power situation. So especially if they're the boss in the situation, they could abuse their power in multiple different ways, right? One example is that if they are a boss, and say they're in a board meeting with all the employees, and one of the employees has a great, brilliant idea that's really going to take this company to the next level, but the manager, no, shoots it down. No, I don't want that. It's a horrible idea. But deep down, they know inside that it's a great idea, but they are going to shoot down other people and their opinions because they want to be the one that comes up with those ideas. They want to be the ones with the recognition. Oh, you're so smart. You're so, whatever. You're such a good boss. You come up with all of our ideas, right? They are willing to actually sacrifice the company and screw off that good idea just because they are not the ones getting that recognition, right? They're jealous. They will sabotage certain things around them for other people or, whatever the situation, because it is not serving them in the way that they want. So OCD, if you have OCD, this is a big symptom of an overactive solar plexus, right? You want to control things, you want things done your way to an extreme level, right? Like, things have to be your way to an extreme level, and you're not very able to take on the opinions of others. Like, if you have an OCD about having your things aligned up a certain way, if somebody comes along and it's like, hey, I'm just going to move this out of line a little bit, you're not going to like that, even though they have the separate perception that they don't need to be lined up like that, right? There's different views. Just because you want to line up whatever like that doesn't mean that it is the right way to do it. That is just your perception. So like, a huge symptom is that, once again, it brings up that righteousness trait is being extremely set in your own views, opinions, perceptions, and you are almost incapable of grasping that others have different opinions other than your own, and feeling like it's your way or the highway, right? You have an extremely hard time accepting different values, different integrities, different morals, different religions, different politics, right? You're having a very hard time adapting to the fact that other people have needs and wants other than yourself, right? So the last thing I want to bring up is that you have an imbalance if you have any ailments of the things that are physically governed by the solar plexus. So any ailments of the diaphragm, the muscular system, the pancreas, the liver, the gallbladder, your adrenal glands, right? Your large intestine. So say you have muscle fatigue. Your muscle system is ruled by solar plexus, right? So that's an imbalance of the solar plexus, right? Any physical ailment, if you have a problem, liver problems, if you have liver dysfunction, that's an imbalance of the solar plexus, right, you guys? So yeah, that's kind of my view on what an overactive solar plexus is. I know we could probably go on about it for a long time. There's a million different symptoms, but these are the main ones, you guys. So I hope that helped. If you haven't watched any of my previous videos, I definitely recommend you go back and check those out, because it'll help you understand this information a little better. And all of this information will actually help you live the best possible life you can possibly live, right? And so if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe, make sure to hit the little notification bell button so you get my future videos. We're going to be going through the rest of the chakras and tons of more stuff kind of related to these subjects, you guys. So have an amazing day. I hope you all are well.